What's up, good people? Back here in Vietnam. Just heading over to the other side of Hanoi, and did want to answer like some of your guys' questions about Vietnam. I've been getting a lot of questions around, is Vietnam safe? Is Vietnam safe? And it kind of like, that's like a multi-leveled question really. Do you mean, is Vietnam safe in terms of driving on the roads? Do you mean, is Vietnam safe to walk out at night? Is Vietnam safe in terms of abiding by rules? So I think that's a multi-leveled question. I think firstly, is Vietnam safe to drive in? Well, you're experiencing that right now. And I think, you know, the number one transport for Vietnamese is the motorbike. So obviously you're more at risk with the motorbike. I would say if you are less experienced, you are going to be more at risk because you lack that experience. So for those that are new to Southeast Asia and the way they drive motorbikes here, I think that, yeah, it could be difficult for you to understand or to fathom how safe can it be without having any experience. So you do need experience driving motorbikes here. Watching videos is just not enough. As I said, if you do come here, first timers, I recommend to grab a Grab taxi, which is the motorbike taxis here. The drivers are very experienced. You'll be able to know how to like go in and out of traffic, what things to watch out for, what to avoid, that sort of thing. So experience does play a big part here. The major thing though is common sense. Make sure you have mirrors on a motorbike. If you're going to hire a motorbike, make sure you have mirrors, and just be wary of your surroundings. Like, see this guy just pulling straight out here. In Vietnam, you know, people drive on the wrong side of the road, so you just have to be very wary around you. Back in Western countries, even New Zealand, it's very, I would say, linear, monotonous in terms of, okay, people drive one way, one lane. If you drive the opposite way in the same lane, you're breaking the law. Here, it's different. See, like this guy, that guy and this lady just pulling in and out. So these are things you need to be wary of when you come here in terms of safety on a motorbike. Now, in terms of safety living in here, in Vietnam, yes, I feel very safe living in here. In fact, I feel more safe here than I would be back in a Western country. And what I mean by that is the amount of freedom here is really good. You know, people say, oh, but Vietnam's a communist country. In actual fact, the only real things that you see that are communist here are the communist symbols on the flags and buildings, government buildings and that. Or even the people dressed at the airport in immigration. That's probably the most you'll see in terms of communism here in Vietnam. Over and above that, the people here are awesome. I haven't seen any like terrible communistic things here at all. It's actually one of the most friendliest, safest places I know of here in Vietnam. Personally, and I've traveled to over 40 countries. So people have this perception, oh, they must be like North Korea. I mean, you do get like officials and soldiers outside government departments with guns, but that's a normal here. And I think it's just for all show, to be honest. We're going to be heading past some of them and you'll see. you'll see some of them as we drive past some of these government departments, especially along this area down here. I'll see if I can slowly film some of them. There you go, there's a couple on the corner just over here on the right. There's a guy there. So he's like got a little handgun. But I mean, that's about the only communist thing you see, and you see like the communist flag and the symbols here. Over and above that, man, this place is really free. It's open. You get a lot of freedom here. I mean, I can even drive on the footpath if the road's like busy. You know, even though yes, that is illegal, but everyone does it here. Even the police do it. Police are like in front of you, and like they're doing it. So, I mean, that's the kind of openness I'm talking about here. And obviously, if you get caught, then you have to pay a penalty, which is a fine. People taking photos. So, as I said, I think Vietnam, I think it's safe to drive a motorbike here if you are experienced, and if you're not, you can get some experience by driving around on a Grab taxi, which is the motorbike taxis here. Like this guy here in front of us. This is a police officer on the back of the Grab, the green one. So you can get experience by driving around with them. And then once you've like gained enough experience, go out into the countryside and drive on the roads out there where there's no trucks or no traffic, just to get some experience about handling the motorbike, how to drive it, that kind of thing. Is it safe to live here? Yes, it is. It's very safe. In fact, I stay with locals or near locals. My neighbors are locals. I have my own place, but I stay near locals, next to locals, and they're really friendly as. You know, they try and talk to you in their own language. There's no hostility at all. They're very welcoming. And in fact, you know, they sometimes crack a joke in their own language, and I don't even know what it means, but I have a laugh anyway. So the people here are very friendly. And I think people have a perception of being in a new country. Yes, it can be quite daunting for them. Yes, it can be like, you know, people get this perception, oh, I'll feel very unsafe. And it's the unknown. That's what they're unsafe about. It's the unknown. So I think people should get some like tips, watch some videos about Vietnam, watch other videos like these videos about safety, and you kind of get an indication of what to expect. So I think people should just, get out of that's like afraid bubble, that perceived, you know, perception of being afraid. You don't have to be afraid, man. And is it safe? I mean, you're going to also see police on corners and that stopping people, checking licenses and registrations and that kind of thing. But, you know, they're really good people. They're there for the safety. I do find if you are out in the countryside and you're working out in the countryside, like it could be a remote town, that you'll be visited by police, but they're only visiting to check you have your documents, your passport, and also that they know that your presence is there. Because if anything happens to you in these remote countryside villages and towns, they don't want to be liable for anything that happens to you. So they want to make sure that you're looked after and you're safe, and they know who they're dealing with. And that's the only time that they'll come and visit you, is when you actually are in the countryside. And I've had that before. When I volunteered to teach, I actually was visited by police, had to show them our passport. Actually, it was me and my friend Grant. We volunteered at a place, and they just wanted to make sure that we would be safe. They wanted to know who we were, and just in case anything happens out there, because some of these villages, they're quite poor, you know. And I'm not saying anything bad, like I mean, you're going to get bad people in pretty much every aspect of society, no matter where you go, because we live in a fundamentally capitalistic system. But the thing is that I feel pretty safe here, and I have quite a bit of freedom here, you know. And I think people don't realize that until they come here and they go, wow, you can actually drink out on the streets here. You can actually smoke in bars here. You know, back in New Zealand, you can't smoke in bars. You can't even drink out on the streets. You get tackled by police if you're drinking out in the streets in New Zealand. It's pathetic. That's the kind of freedom that we have here, and it's less stressful. I mean, people want to have their release, so they want to smoke. People want to have their drink, and that's the kind of freedom that people have here. You know, the freedom to jump on a motorbike, go where you want. So these are just some of the small things that we take for granted, especially people that come here and don't realize actually how good it is to be here in a developing country. I mean, this country is just still developing, so it has a lot more potential, which is a really good thing. And the really good thing about this country is that it's independent. It's not colonized, so it's not influenced by other countries. I mean, they kicked out the French, they kicked out the Americans, they kicked out the Japanese, they kicked out the Chinese. So I think in a way it's a good thing that Vietnam's independent, yet it's, yes, still part of the system. And talking about system, yes, Vietnam is very capitalistic. Everywhere you go, people are selling things. And it doesn't matter where you go in the world, people are selling things. But here they're doing the same thing, and it's for people's living costs. Hey, look, there's a train. See if we can catch up to the train, so you guys can actually see the train. Hurry up, people. So yes, Vietnam's very capitalistic, and it is developing. I just hope that Vietnam will keep away these big corporate influential countries and companies like China and all these other companies. Keep them away, or restrict them, and not sell them land, not sell them assets or anything like that. They should remain the Vietnamese people. So we've got a bit of a guy that stopped. Grab bike. Batman helmet. This guy. That guy held up our motorbike so we couldn't see the train, but I think you had a bit of a glimpse of it anyway. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. If you are thinking about coming to Vietnam, yeah, it's safe, very safe. And you know, my recommendations are, if you're going to drive around on a motorbike, get some experience, drive around with the Grab first. And if you're a female traveling, or a female that's going to be alone, just make sure you know your community that you're in, and meet up with other foreigners or people in your community that you can engage with, so you can be a part of their community and build relationships with people here, so that you're part of the community. You'll feel more safer with the community, and I think the ultimate thing is that you feel connected. And I know a lot of people that travel overseas, they are looking for that connection. So if you are a single traveler, like I have been for a while, making friends in a foreign country, it can be quite daunting, but once you actually throw yourself out there and start doing it, you'll be okay, man. You'll make friends, relationships quite fast. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off on this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. just talking a little bit about how safe Vietnam is. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys on the next one. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Experience the journey, inspire others, live life, guys. See you later.